There's a lot of cool pen testing projects and tools that you can use based around the Raspberry Pi Zero 2W, like the Ponagotchi and Ragnar, and there's honestly a whole bunch. Soon we'll be going over a lot more projects like the RaspyJack, not just yet. If you want to see a quick video about it, my friend Zeek has a video and I've linked him down below in the description. Anyway, let's get back to what today's video is on. Today's video is on the evolution of Bejorn, and for those of you guys that don't know, Bejorn is a network testing tool that allows you to pretty much strength test your network in every way possible. Try to find open ports, it'll see if SSH is open, it will try everything in its power to hack your own network so that you can close those vulnerabilities and nobody can exploit them. It's basically a self-auditing tool that does all the work for you and then tells you, hey, this is where you need to set up your defenses. And from there, you can set your defenses. It's actually a really awesome tool, but it's based on you configuring your own network. And once you set up Bejorn, it's a whole process that allows you to pretty much log in with your own credentials. And once you do that, to try to change it on the fly is kind of non-existent. You have to reflash Bejorn and do this entire process. It's kind of a pain. But a developer by the name of Pierre has actually come up with an evolution of Bejorn that's set up just like Bejorn. As a matter of fact, the setup process is exactly like setting up Bejorn. And it's called Ragnar. I love these Nordic names. It's just 10 out of 10. Anyway, Ragnar is an evolution of Bejorn that gives you a lot more features and the ability, the main thing here, to change networks on the fly. And even the e-ink UI that's available, it's actually a lot more versatile. Like on the top left corner, it'll tell you the last two or last digit of the IP address that you're logged into. And that's really useful. And being able to use the web UI to switch networks on the fly is also really cool. Now, let me be clear. Bejorn is an awesome project, and we would have no Bejorn without Ragnar. Just Ragnar gives you a lot more features. If you're running it on a Pi 4 or a Pi 5, you get what's called server features and a lot more possibilities. But for this video, we're going to be going over Ragnar on the Raspberry Pi Zero 2W and the ePaper display, the 2.1-inch ePaper display Hat Plus by Waveshare. You can use any 2.1-inch Waveshare display, version 2, version 3, version 4. They support them all. I believe he also supports the larger one, the 2.8-inch. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But you can also set Ragnar up for even more pen testing features with a Raspberry Pi 5. Now, this is where it gets a little bit more advanced in the web UI, allowing you to set it up in a headless setup. And a headless setup is basically without an ePaper Hat Plus, for those of you guys that are just joining in. And the whole firmware is just ingenious. Bejorn allowed us to test our own networks. Ragnar allows us to test networks on the fly. Now, granted, we're testing networks that we have permission to test on, and the web UI is what I think is like the best part here. Being able to switch networks and have a lot more features. And with an alpha adapter on other like the Ragnar server setups, you could test multiple networks right at the same time. That's just crazy to me. That way you can make sure that everything is set up the way it is, and being able to pen test the networks that you have permission to test on those networks, which is, I know I just repeated myself, but it's crazy. Now, there's something else that makes Ragnar kind of amazing. Ragnar allows you to take your OpenAI API key and put it on your Ragnar, whether it's a Raspberry Pi Zero 2W or the Ragnar server on the Pi 5. But because the prices of Pis are absolutely insane these days, we're going to be doing it, this video at least, on the Raspberry Pi Zero 2W. If you want to go ahead and grab your Pi 5 and have the Ragnar server features, then I'd encourage you to go check it out, because man, the features on there is kind of crazy. If you're gonna run a Ragnar server, you need a Pi 4 or a Pi 5 above 8 gigabytes of RAM. And the price of RAM these days is through the roof. It's insane, but you know, like I said, if you have one laying around, definitely flash it, skip ahead, don't use a Raspberry Pi Zero 2W, use a Pi 4 or Pi 5 over 8 gigs, you won't regret it. Now here we are in Raspberry Pi Imager. Raspberry Pi Imager just makes everything so much easier. We're gonna scroll down and we're gonna click Raspberry Pi Zero 2W next, and we wanna make sure we flash Raspberry Pi OS 64-bit Trixie, this one, recommended. This is the one that we wanna choose. There's easier ways to do this, And like you could just SSH into it, but we're going to be doing it this way. And then we're going to press next. And then we're going to click our 32 gigabyte SD card here. And from here, our host name, we're going to make sure it's Ragnar. Next, we're going to keep that as. We're going to change our username to Ragnar and our password to Ragnar as well. Ragnar. Now we're going to press next. And we're going to leave that as is. And enable SSH. Yes. We're going to press next after that. And we're going to leave that off. And after that, we're going to press right. And from right, just let it flash. All right, so just to kind of rewind, what we're going to do is ping ragnar.local. And over here, it should say pinging ragnar.local, and it'll give you an IP address. Now here, in this IP address, we're going to go into PuTTY. And in PuTTY, let's actually close this. Do I want to close this? Yes, okay. We're going to open PuTTY. Now, in PuTTY, right here, we're going to, where it says host name, paste that IP address right there. And we can keep it on port 22, press open, and over here it should say host key is not cached. So we're going to press accept, and we're going to log in as Ragnar. And our password in this case is still Ragnar. Ta-da! Now we're in. Now this is an easy way to get set up. If you want, you can hook your Raspberry Pi to a HDMI, mini HDMI to full-size HDMI adapter. It's totally up to you. I would not recommend that. This might be a little bit of a heartache in the beginning. As you can see, it's sometimes annoying, but I promise you this is infinitely easier because a Raspberry Pi Zero runs like a slug, and this just makes everything run more efficiently. Now here, we're at the Ragnar GitHub page. So it's PierreGode, the goat, and then here it should say Ragnar. And it's really easy. I'll put this in the description just in case you want to find it. We're going to give this guy a star because he definitely deserves it. There's that. Oh, sorry about that. Now, we're here at the GitHub page. We're going to scroll down. And this makes it super easy. All we have to do is stop moving. All we have to do is copy that. This is the quick install. Quick install makes it seamless. You also have an install guide here, which breaks it down in the simplest terms. But, there's a PieSugar curl that we can actually, well, we're not going to be putting a PieSugar. If you have a PieSugar, you can add that. We really don't have to. This is just the quick install right here. And we're going to go back to our shell right here. We're going to right click and then press enter. Ta-da! Install on Wi-Fi Pineapple Pager. No, that is not what we are doing. Install, so 1, 2, or 3. Well, we're not installing on the Wi-Fi Pineapple Pager, although that is awesome. We're going to be installing on the Raspberry Pi with ePaper. So we're going to press 1. Ta-da! From here, it's just going to do its thing, and we can move on to the other steps, which we will definitely have to move on to. Now, it's going to tell us to detect our ePaper display, and we have a V4 because we're using an ePaper Hat Plus, so we're going to type in 4, and from here we press Enter. Success! Now it's going to continue doing its thing. All right, now everything installed perfectly. After that, we want to reboot. Make sure you reboot after the installation is complete, which will exit the PuTTY terminal. We want to re-SSH back inside, and we're going to copy right here. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. We're going to copy this right here, which is the system dependencies. And after, which is what we got installed, well, actually getting installed right now, it's installing all of the system dependencies. After the system dependencies get installed, we're going to scroll down, and this is the actual Ragnar installation, which we can just, copy that and get it ready. Now, we'll continue on as soon as this is done. This is going to take like 3 to 5 minutes. Now, if you followed all the steps correctly, you should have yourself a little Ragnar, and I've attached mine to a 04U USB hub, and it's also a BMS. I don't know, I think it looks nice, and it stacks rather well with a 3000 milliamp hour battery. Now, in the settings, if you have a PieSugar, you will press yes if you have a PieSugar. Now, sometimes it crashes, don't be alarmed, just restart. It's an entire process, but I assure you that it will work. I am not going to go outright and say, hey, use a PieSugar. Any BMS works, and it powers it on rather fast. The server options, if you want to run a headless setup, are kind of crazy, and it gives Ragnar that edge that you wouldn't expect, kind of Pineapple Pager-esque. And also, you can run Ragnar on your Pineapple Pager if you have a Hack 5 Pineapple Pager. That's pretty cool. You know, I definitely was not expecting this BMS to work this good, but it's fantastic. Now, just a quick kind of guide to these little icons on the top left corner right there. We've got a Wi-Fi icon. It'll tell you how strong the signal is depending on where it is, as well as those last digits are the last digits of your IP address. Now, see that arrow, that bullseye right where my thumb is? That tells us the number of IP and targets that are being detected on the current network. So now we've got 11, and right there, that looks like a, it looks like an Ethernet jack, if I could kind of focus that in real quick. It says 24 on there right there. That is the number of open ports detected on my current network. So yeah, that's that's a lot. Now next right here we have that shield, and that shield tells us the number of vulnerabilities detected on our current network. So testing my network, specifically the one that we use in the lab, there's 544 vulnerabilities, which is crazy. And we can go and analyze that data and close all 544 of them, which is, once again, that's a crazy number. Now, see that lock right there? This is where it kind of gets interesting. That lock right there tells us the number of cracked credentials that Ragnar has pretty much gotten on its own. That little baby right there tells us that, well, it's not a baby. I know that, to me, it looks like a baby, and it's actually a zombie. And it tells us the number of zombified machines with a persistence WIP. Almost said whip. Now, see that little stack of pancakes? That is, that pretty much tells us the total number of stolen files from all the attacks. Now, remember, this is meant for you to protect your network and close these vulnerabilities. So according to the bottom logs, we're actually looking pretty good. Even though that there are 544 vulnerabilities, we're doing all right. Now, right here, we've got our status indicator, which it'll tell us what we're doing right now. Ragnar is idle, and he's wondering if R2-D2 ever got this board. Oh, well. Thanks, guy. As you can see, the animations change consistently, and I just think it's adorable. Now, you see that dollar sign? That dollar sign is the virtual money that Bejorn or Ragnar, mind you, it's the same icons for Bejorn and Ragnar, and it looks, there's very little difference when it comes to the e-paper display UI, and that is just pretty much, I don't know, it's like he's gaining his points. I don't want to call it XP, because that's where our level comes in. So yeah, I guess kind of like XP. And we're level 56 right now, which is, I mean, that's pretty much achieved depending on the experience that he's, you know, that he's gone through. And right now he's in attack mode, which is, or no, he's scanning right now, which is pretty cool. These two axes, those are the numbers of different types of attacks that he's added to his arsenal. So right there we've got 21, and that little neuron-looking icon is the total of all the known hosts, representing the knowledge base that he's pretty much gotten from his scanned networks. And I know that sounds like very kind of complicated, but on the Bejorn website, there's a legend that explains all of this. I'm actually reading, I have to, like, I keep trying to go off the top of the head, but then I keep referencing it. And these little icons are they're just adorable. It's an easy way of telling what's going on in your network. And you can just leave this running, and if there's a vulnerability, you'll close it up. Now, what makes Ragnar different from Bejorn is when it cannot connect to a known network, it gives off a hotspot. So pretty much you can take your Ragnar on the go. And when it gives off that hotspot, you can now go to that web interface that exists. You got to log into the SSID. It's Ragnar, and the password is Ragnar Connect. And there's a IP address that you go to where you open up the web interface. And in that web interface, you can then log in to another network easily. Like basically being able to take this auditing tool on the go everywhere you go. And this is like amazing for professionals because you can have a little cyber buddy that does his job continuously while you're doing your job. And you know, it's essentially like having a team. And it gets kind of crazier than that. Ragnar can also work alongside a Ponagotchi. So you can have a crazy duo going on that goes even harder than you'd ever expect. Now, I'm not going to be doing it on the channel. I'll probably save that for next time because we are going to go over the Ragnar server, it deserves its own video because it's the amount of things that you can do with the Ragnar server headless setup is kind of insane. And with a headless setup, it doesn't look as cute as this, but it's just as well, efficient. Now don't forget, you don't have to just build Bejorn with a Raspberry Pi Zero and a BMS and a display. You can literally just build it with a Pi Zero and a display, or a Pi 4 or 5 with a Pi Sugar and a 2.7-inch display or a 2.1-inch display. You can mix and match, it don't really matter. Although I do like this 04U BMS, like the Pi Sugars connect through SPI, I believe, and these just connect to the pads on the bottom of the actual Pi Zero. And I really like that, like that's actually pretty awesome. Now I absolutely love Raspberry Pi Zero projects, especially projects that have an e-paper display. If you like this project, don't forget to check them out, give them a star, and if you're interested in a Ragnar for yourself, we're going to be giving away one Ragnar e-paper display and a Pi Zero 2W fully configured to one winner down below. We're going to be announcing it 2 weeks from now, and yeah, man, if you want one, you just comment what you think of this project. If you like this project, if you don't like this project, if you like Bejorn better, I really want to hear your thoughts on this because I think this is like definitely one of those auditing tools and one of those pen testing tools that everybody should carry in their everyday carry because it just does everything. It's a perfect co-pilot and a perfect pilot. Whether you're just starting to learn about pen testing vulnerabilities within networks or learning how auditing works, Bejorn and Ragnar are amazing tools used by professionals and by like tech enthusiasts, ethical hackers. Everybody loves a Pi Zero and e-paper display project, especially because they haven't really gone up in price. Pi Zero 2Ws are like $15, and don't overpay for a Pi Zero 2W. Pi 5s, however, they've gotten kind of crazy. And with Bjorn's headless setup, the server setup, I would encourage you to take a look at it, especially if you have a Pi 5 laying around, because that project is, it's kind of spicy and it's kind of cool. And if you have a pineapple pager, you can flash Ragnar on your pineapple pager, which we'll be doing in a video later on. So make sure you tune in. If you like this video, consider subscribing, liking, sharing, doing all that stuff. It helps the channel, it helps me, and honestly, I would appreciate it. I've been fasting all day. You guys are amazing. We'll see you next time.